Çmimit Vital Voices Global, e ndjekim së bashku.
The evacuation of about 1,000 high-risk women leaders, government ministers, doctors, civil society leaders, athletes, journalists, and more. The coalition, with Albanian partners, is providing housing, education, medical services, psychosocial and trauma support. It is a right and natural thing to do, Mr. Rama said in an interview with the New York Times. We don't put people in camps. They are dehumanizing.
All people around here, they're saying you're like our family, we have the same experience like you, our country was in war.
I will never forget Albania.
I just want to go help and as much as I can to at least make a small part, a small change and make it a bit better for the future generation.
What an extraordinary and inspiring evening of solidarity. And I think back all those many years, Diane, to when we started Vital Voices with the hope that it could become the global network that it is today. And it is so incredibly gratifying to hear the stories of the people that are being honored tonight, Billy and Roberto and James and Dan. Thank each and every one of you for all that you're doing and the leadership that you're providing as we continue to make sure that every single voice of every woman and every girl counts. And in the last months, we've had the extraordinary experience of seeing the return to Afghanistan of a group of men who want to turn the clock back on women and women's rights and roles. I wish they were the only people in the world today who wanted to turn the clock back. Unfortunately, there are too many who are themselves obstacles to progress, but even more than that, instruments of trying to undo the progress that has been made. Which is why we need leaders and activists more than ever, and particularly, if I can, in keeping with the theme tonight, men. Good men, James. Good men who stand up, speak out, and support the rights and roles of women. So it's a particular honor and pleasure for me to introduce someone whom I admire, who I've had the privilege of knowing, whose career I have watched with great interest and admiration, whose leadership is emblematic of a shared mission to elevate women and girls. Now, some international leaders were not willing to do very much. Even when asked if they answered affirmatively at all, it was with very minor commitments. There were, however, a handful, and sadly it is that, a handful of leaders who stepped forward in a time of great need. And at the top of that list is Prime Minister Edi Rama. Prime Minister Rama understood almost instinctually how important it was to reach out, to say yes. So along with Vital Voices and the Georgetown Institute for Women, Peace and Security and Women for Women and Mina's List and many others, Prime Minister Rama opened Albania's doors to people from Afghanistan, predominantly women in need. And because of his leadership and the efforts of the Albanian government, more than 1,000 Afghan evacuees are safe in Albania. When I called to thank the Prime Minister for that extraordinary commitment, he was very matter-of-fact. Like, well, what else should we be doing? I wish there were more leaders who had that kind of approach. But this is not the only reason that he is being recognized tonight. After his re-election in September, Prime Minister Rama broke with historical precedent by appointing the highest number of women in the Albanian government ever in Albania's history. Over 70% of his cabinet ministers are women. And some of them are here this evening, equal partners in helping to shape the nation that they serve. And he continues to put gender equality at the center of his government's agenda, and to speak out against gender-based violence and to strengthen Albanian women's economic participation. At a time when across our globe, women's rights and security are under siege, Prime Minister Rama's commitment to advancing prosperity, opportunity, and dignity in Albania and for Afghans and others should inspire all of us to action. So on behalf of Vital Voices, it is my great honor to present the 2021 Global Trailblazer Award to Prime Minister Edi Rama.